Morning, Sourcing Hub. How are we doing? It's been a while, isn't it, since I've been in here. So I wanted to just jump on this morning because a couple of reasons, really. One, I'm very conscious that I haven't been in here for ages. And I think it's important to check in with you guys, see how you are. Apologies that the sun's in your eyes. I'm out walking the dog. So I've got 10 minutes or so. And I wanted to just talk about deal packaging whilst in Corona craziness, right? So, good morning to you all. I really hope that the whole Corona craziness is not impacting you in a negative way. I hope that you guys are happy and healthy and at home and safe, and you figured out how to use Zoom like everybody else has. Isn't Zoom a fucking revelation? What an absolute revelation to run my business through. I love it. Don't know about you, but I 100% won't be going back to having meetings for the sake of meetings when you can have Zoom calls instead. At home, with a cup of tea in your favourite mug. Amazing. So, let's talk deal packaging. So if you guys have got any questions at the minute about, deal packaging in this climate, then ping them in the comments. There's a couple of things I just wanted to share with you, really. That we've been kind of experiencing over the last few weeks that may or may not help you. Morning, Neil. Nice to hear from you. How you doing? So, what's been the biggest things that has happened over the last few weeks? So, I think some of the key things that I'm going to turn around so the sun's not like directly in the camera. Some of the key things that we are recognising, seeing, is that the way that people are communicating is changing. Yeah. I think that is the biggest thing, is that whereas historically I've always had to do 2 seconds. My dog's trying to like disappear, she's like right down there in the field. So I'm just getting her back. Whereas historically we've always had to like go and meet the people, go and sign the paper, go and do all those things. What we found, which is like a miracle, is all of a sudden solicitors are happy to do stuff digitally. What a revelation. People are happy to take your ID digitally. What a revelation. I think that what we're going to find over the next little while is that the way that deals are transacted on is going to change. The process is going to change. I remember we bought a flip September time, not long ago. And we used a new solicitor that we hadn't used before. And this particular solicitor, what we didn't check before we agreed... What we didn't check before we agreed to use them was that we could do everything digitally. We could sign using digital signatures and things like that. This particular solicitor is like living in the dark ages. So these guys actually decided that there was no way we could do it digitally, and we had to go to the office and sign the paperwork. Now, I lived at the time in Milton Keynes. My business partner lived in Northampton, and they were in Manchester. How annoying. So we literally had to drive all the way to Manchester, 3 of us, the 3 directors of the company, to sign this piece of paper and then leave again all the way to Manchester. How annoying. What's a miracle inside of coronavirus times is that same solicitor is now able to do everything digitally. Now, what I think is amazing, and something that you guys can definitely take away from this, is that if they change it to digital, there's no reason for them to change it back because it's more convenient for everybody. So I think actually what we're going to see is a definite difference in the way that deals are transacted, the way that things are getting over the line. And hopefully what that will mean is that things will be able to happen even faster than what they can happen historically, which is quite exciting actually. So yeah, the communication and the way that we transact, I think, is definitely going to take a bit of a shift, which is quite cool. I also think the way that investors invest is going to change, or it is changing. Some of you guys watching this video may be investors, may have a pot of money in your bank, 20, 30, 50, 100 million, whatever you've got in the bank. Now, historically, we've been getting not great interest rates. Sorry, she's exploring. Not great interest rates anyway, but you're now getting even less on your money. So what we're finding, like the investors that we're talking to now, whereas our business traditionally pays a fixed percentage. I'm not allowed for FCA reasons to say what that percentage is on this live, but if anyone wants to know, you can talk to me. we pay a fixed percentage when we take loaned money into the business to do projects. It's far more than the 0.000, like the basically zero money that you're getting in the bank now, right? So what we're finding again is that the investors we're speaking to, whilst a lot of people are, I guess in their minds are thinking, well, our investors are just going to batten down the hatches and keep hold of their money. Well, actually, if they're making anything less than, I think it's 2.8% in the bank, they're actually losing money. So their money is eroding over time because of inflation and the cost of living and all that sort of stuff. So it doesn't make sense for investors to leave their money stuck in the bank. So lots of the investors we're working with are doing the exact opposite. They are actively trying to put their money into projects that can pay them out. So either lend it at a fixed return or joint venture or buy with good returns, like buy package deals from us. What we've not seen over the last few weeks is a slowdown in the way that our investors are behaving, because inherently investors want to continue to make their money into more money, right? And that hasn't changed. Yes, there's some investors, maybe the smaller pot investors who've got like the 10 and 20,000, who have decided to just hold fire for a second because they might need that money because they've lost their job, or maybe their husbands or wives have lost their jobs, the kids are off school, like, yeah, everything's kind of changing. They need a bit of a slush fund, if you like. So certainly that's definitely shifted a little bit. But what we're definitely not seeing is investors just like pulling the plug on things. We're seeing active investors moving forwards with deals, investing in things, and that is super exciting, because I think about 5-6 weeks ago when all of this kind of kicked off, there was definitely like an air of fear in the communities that I'm in, this community, the Cogito Wealth community, around how are we even going to trade deals if nobody's buying, if the market... So someone said to me that property's dead. I mean, what the fuck? All of a sudden people aren't going to not need somewhere to live. Property's still a thing. So if anyone who's worried about that, don't be, because property is definitely still a thing. But what we're seeing is just the way that people are trading deals has started to shift a little bit. I'm catching up with Tina Walsh next week, I think it is, to talk to her about how the compliance angle of things is being impacted in terms of like meeting them, signing contracts, AML compliance stuff. I don't know what HMRC is saying around that in terms of how we can obviously keep businesses moving along, keep things trading along whilst we can't physically meet people. So yeah, Tina's going to fill me in on that. So once I've done that, we're actually going to go live into this group and do like a bit of an interview. So look out for that, because we're going to do it together, really just so that we can fill you guys in, and also so that I can be filled in by the lady that advises me on all my compliance stuff. But yeah, what I wanted to really just say is, for the last couple of weeks, I've had my head down in my business, figuring it all out, and piecing together the pieces of the bits that have kind of broken or stalled or delayed a little bit. But actually, it is definitely not all doom and gloom. Things are still moving forwards, and that is incredible. At a time when things are definitely tough for a lot of people, what I want you to understand is that your businesses can still trade. If you need any help in terms of things you're getting stuck on, then please do PM me. Another consequence of being in lockdown is that I've got a bit more time than I normally have, so I'm actually able to find some time to respond to some of the messages that I never do. I've got some slots in my diary for like strategy calls, if anybody wants to like just book one of them, no cost, just like a bit of a chat, or any particular questions you need answering. I'm happy to do that while I've got the time. And also the 5-day challenge that's coming up, you definitely should register for that, because we're going to be talking less about sourcing property deals and more about sourcing money. And I am really excited. We've got like 180 or so people joining me for that at the moment. So it would be really cool if you joined, if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm going to carry on walking the dog. I just wanted to check in with you guys. I know I've been particularly quiet over the last few weeks in this community, mainly because, like you guys, I've had my head in my business, figuring it all out, making sure that it's all working. I'm super proud that things are working. We've got enough reserved in the business to tide us over. I've not had to let a single member of staff go, which I'm super proud of. Between my business partner and I, we've retained every single member of staff and every single member of the team, and we intend to do that. We're just, if things in terms of billing shift, which they have slightly, but we've got the reserves to be able to sustain that and to keep our guys in their jobs, which I'm super like happy about and proud. And I'm very grateful for that as well, because had we not run the business in the way that we've run, or businesses, the group of companies that I have, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And so, yeah, good choices have been made historically, which has led us to having a pot that we can kind of rely on now, which is great. I hope you guys are happy and healthy and safe at home. I hope that coronavirus isn't impacting you in a negative way. And if I can help with anything, please do message me. We'll book in a strategy call, 15-20 minutes, pick the brains. We'll see if we can set you some plans. I'd love to be able to help you guys. Let me know how you are. I'll catch up with you soon. If you've got any questions at all, ping them in the comments or ping me a PM and I will answer them. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch up with you later. See you, bye.